Tromsø is known as the Northern Lights capital of the world, but the auroras mostly appear at night, and sometimes you have to wait several days before conditions are perfect. So what do you do during the day in the Arctic? During my 7-day solo road trip in the Arctic, I spent my evenings chasing the Northern Lights, but my days turned into an adventure of their own. Here are 10 things to do in Tromsø during the day that make the trip incredible, even before night falls. 1. Explore Tromsø city center. Tromsø is a small city, but it has a truly unique atmosphere. The city center is easy to explore on foot. You'll find colorful Scandinavian-style houses, cozy cafes, and constant views of snow-covered mountains. Start with a walk along the harbor at sunrise, around 10 a.m. The traditional fishing boats and the view of the Arctic Cathedral across the water create the perfect setting for your first photos. During winter, daylight only lasts a few hours, and the light is incredibly soft. It's honestly the perfect moment to slow down and soak in the Arctic atmosphere. 2. Visit the Arctic Cathedral. One of Tromsø's most iconic landmarks is the Arctic Cathedral. Its architecture is inspired by polar landscapes. The triangular lines resemble surrounding mountains and glaciers. Inside, the atmosphere is very minimalistic and almost meditative. The light passing through the stained glass creates a very peaceful ambiance. Even though the visit is fairly short, it really feels like the beginning of your journey into the Arctic world. 3. Discover the Polar Museum. If you want to understand the fascinating history of the region, the Polar Museum is a must-see. You'll learn about the lives of early polar explorers, the extreme conditions they faced, and the history of major expeditions to the poles. This museum really left an impression on me because it puts modern Arctic adventures into perspective. You realize that what we experience today, with technical gear and weather apps, is still very comfortable compared to what those explorers endured. If you're interested in polar history, I highly recommend the book Scott and Amundsen, which tells the legendary race to the South Pole between the British and the Norwegians. It's a fascinating read that truly immerses you in the era of great polar exploration. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. 4. Go up Fjellheisen. One of the most impressive experiences in Tromsø is reaching the top of Fjellheisen. There are 2 ways to get there: by cable car or hiking up with snowshoes. Personally, I chose the snowshoe hike. It's physically challenging, but incredibly rewarding. It fills your afternoon and also saves about €40. At the top, the view is simply spectacular. You overlook the entire city, the fjords, and the mountains. It's also one of the best places to return to at night to watch the Northern Lights. My tip: start the climb in the late afternoon to enjoy the pink sunset colors on the mountain peaks, then warm up at the cable car cafe while waiting for the auroras. 5. Go snowshoe hiking. This was honestly the activity that impacted me the most during the trip. Snowshoeing allows you to explore completely wild areas, far from roads, far from noise, just snow, wind, and sometimes animal tracks. The silence of the Arctic is something difficult to describe. You truly feel alone in the world. If you want to travel with your own gear, I personally use a lightweight and compact snowshoe model that's perfect for traveling. I'll also leave the link in the description if you're interested. 6. Try dog sledding. This is probably the most iconic activity in the region. Traveling through snowy landscapes pulled by a team of huskies is an incredibly immersive experience. These excursions can be quite expensive, but it's definitely something unforgettable during an Arctic trip. Some agencies advertise 3 or 4-hour tours, but in reality, you may only spend about 30 minutes on the sled. So here's a small tip: try choosing operators that prioritize dog welfare and smaller group sizes. 7. Discover Sami culture. The Sami are the indigenous people of northern Scandinavia. Some traditional camps offer experiences where you can learn about their lifestyle, history, and relationship with reindeer herding. It's a much more cultural and slower-paced activity, but it really helps you understand the deep identity of the Arctic region. Eight, explore Kvaløya Island. If you rent a car, Kvaløya is absolutely unmissable. It's an island right next to Tromsø, but it already feels like a full Arctic expedition. You'll find spectacular fjords, completely deserted Arctic beaches, incredible scenic roads. It's also one of the best places to spot reindeer or moose along the road. Even without the northern lights, this island alone justifies a road trip in the region. And if you have a full day available, continue driving to Sommarøy. White sand beaches and turquoise water, surrounded by snowy mountains. I passed through on my way to Senja, and it's one of the most beautiful landscapes in Norway. Nine, try local food. Norway is expensive, that's a fact. But discovering local food is still a real experience. Local specialties often include ultra-fresh fish, traditional reindeer dishes, and plenty of local street food. Personally, I didn't try reindeer stew in a restaurant, but I did try the reindeer hot dog, which is very popular in Tromsø. And honestly, it was a very pleasant surprise. 10. Prepare for the Northern Lights hunt. Daytime is also the strategic moment to prepare for the night. I often spent time analyzing weather forecasts, checking solar activity, scouting observation spots, preparing my camera gear, and most importantly, preparing my clothing. Because waiting several hours in freezing temperatures for the auroras is something you definitely need to plan for. Bonus: Telegraph Bukta, the hidden spot. My favorite location. It's a beach at the southern tip of the island. It's peaceful, beautiful, and one of the best free spots to wait for the first auroras as night falls, far from the city lights. Tromsø is often presented only as a destination to see the northern lights, but in reality, it's a complete Arctic adventure destination. And honestly, some of my most memorable experiences here happened in broad daylight. If you're planning a trip to northern Norway, I have an entire video series covering my complete travel budget, the best spots to see the northern lights, my full road trip itinerary. You can find the playlist on the channel, and let me know in the comments, which activity would you most like to try in Tromsø?